Good evening, folks. Great time, another good show. Creative Financing with JB. We got some very interesting stuff that's going on tonight. Some a good guest, Miss Frances Perry. We're going to talk about a whole new avenue of housing and development, what we're doing in this community. And as you can see, our economy is not the best. Folks are homeless. Folks are transitioning to different type of housing and stuff. And we're going to have some good outlook on what we're doing out here in the community. How is it happening? Another veteran, folks, as we said, we promote our veteran status here and get it on. But I'm going to just give y'all a moment. And Miss Perry, thank you so much for coming tonight. We appreciate you. And give us a little bit of your background with what you do.
Well, honestly, I want to give honor to God and thank Him for allowing me to be here tonight. And actually, I want to start out with my favorite verse in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Jeremiah 29:11. If you're a Christian and you know the word, the gospel, you know what that entails.
Yeah. Come
You
on
know
now.
exactly what it entails. It tells us that God has already set a plan out for us.
Mm,
Yeah, you might steer to the left, steer to the right, but you're going to get back on track.
that's
And
right.
obedience is the number one thing in my life. I'm not perfect. We all have come short. And my little background is, as a child
Mm-hmm.
with my mother, I saw some things that wasn't going so good during the Vietnam veteran era. I saw
Mm,
some veterans getting spat on, and I
mm,
at a parade, and I just couldn't comprehend it. So I asked my mom, why did they do that? And she said to me, well, you know how people are. And I said to her, one of these days, I'm going to help them. I was maybe around 9 or 10, give or take. And she said, okay. 18 years later, I joined the military and became a medic and worked and also became a LPN.
mm.
So uh, that's a little bit about me growing up. I was born in New Jersey. I grew up in North Carolina. Um,
Oh, shout out to NC.
graduated from Northern Nash Senior High.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Sorry, guys. And, service. Service is
Mm-hmm.
my keynote. That's basically what I'm going to point out tonight. It's not about me. It's not about
Mm,
us. It's about serving and being obedient.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And serving for a cause. We serve for a cause. Everybody has a calling for it and a cause that we call to do out here. And Miss Perry, she picked that, and I joined in the military, so we were both veterans.
Yeah.
But we picked the cause of service because it's no better fulfilling matter you have when you're providing the service, providing for folks, seeing them grow, seeing them elevate to the next level, and everything, and going from there. So Miss Perry, tell us about Janie's Hands right now. Give us a little background of that whole business.
Well, the theme of Janie's Hands exists and why it exists. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think it's pretty unique
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of our veterans get out of the military and have no direction,
Mm-hmm.
regardless where you're a veteran.
Yes.
They lead us, give us a little VA, give us a little employment, help us with um, how to do a resume. Because
Right.
being in the military, you really don't do resumes.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, how Janie's Hands was founded, as I said earlier, it was developed inside of my mind as a child.
Mm.
And as I said earlier about Jeremiah 29:11, the
Mm-hmm.
Lord knew the plan that He had for me.
Mm.
And I always loved military history also. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, um, I could just go down the list and just. But I believe that there's no veteran that's left behind due
Wow.
to disability, homelessness, any circumstance. So when we come home, we may be out for a while, and our families sometimes they don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I've noticed with the veterans that I work with and
Mm-hmm.
assist in service,
Mm-hmm.
most of them are homeless veterans and been out for some time. They've been out of the military for some time. They didn't just come out of the military, a couple of years ago. It could
Right.
be 10, 15, 20 Vietnam veterans. I mean, every era. It doesn't matter. Every single era.
Mm-hmm. Came out, and we came out, and we didn't know what was happening when we came out,
Yeah,
and we was looking for direction. And I can attest to that. When I got out, I didn't know a lot of things of what to do. All I knew was you better get to work and pay bills.
that's
you
right.
know?
Somehow or the other.
Yeah, somehow or the other, you better go out there, find a job, pay your bills, and it's going to work out for you. And you enjoy the little things in life, which was company, family, some good food, and a good thing
Mm.
But tell us what started, what inspired you in this housing and the homeless and stuff like that.
Actually, when I retired December 2020, I became bored. Couldn't
Mm,
sit in the house. I'm used to serving.
right, right.
So when I got my retirement orders, I said, okay, Lord, we finished this journey together. What's next? I just heard a little voice go, keep serving.
Mm.
So I started at Delaware Food Bank, packing boxes and stuff because it
Oh
was
wow.
during COVID. COVID was sort of kind of winding down, but I went to the
Mm,
food bank and with my mask on and put together some food boxes and did some, drive through, over at Bally's, they call it now, and also
mhm,
in Milford and also Newcastle. And then Cold Purple season started. I mean,
mhm,
I just decided, well, God and I decided to just stay here. I still live on base as of right now. I
mm,
consider myself still transitioning as well. A lot of the
mm,
stories that I hear from the other veterans, believe it or not, we all go through it.
mhm,
So, as I stated, I started doing volunteer work with Delaware Food Bank, and Cold Purple season started. So I started volunteering at the churches in the community, specifically two of them, Maranatha and People's Community Center, People's Church.
mm.
So they saw the experience I had because after Desert Storm, I did work for the VA for 20 something years and then decided to go back in the military and finish what I started. That wasn't planned, not
Right.
from uh, my point of view. But as I stated, I started volunteering during uh, 2021 Cold Purple season, and they noticed that I had some skills with veterans, and it did come from working with the VA and also, vet center in Northeast Philadelphia. All anyone. I used to be the manager, office
Mhm,
manager for that vet center before I went back in and deployed a couple of times, Iraq, Afghan. So, as I was stating, I started working or volunteering with the veterans, the female and the male. And they were
mhm,
like, well, we have veterans coming in. I have an idea. Do you mind helping them out? Sure. I'm here to serve. So, calling up some of my friends in Philadelphia at the VA and just started chatting. They was like, okay, you can do it this way, though. You can do it that way. Some of the social workers that I knew in Philadelphia, and they started helping me out.
mm,
Really, SSVF, Supportive Services for Veterans and Their Families, is a VA program that
mhm,
we have, that the government, but the agencies that work with SSVF that came in contact with is Veteran Multi-Purpose Center,
mm,
VMC, and Soldier On. Soldier On is on board with us now, but at first it was only VMC. And VMC helped me a whole lot when it came to assisting with the veterans. I didn't have a technique down at the beginning. I just did it and
right.
allowed God to guide me how to do it through me. So that's how it started. Actually, I was bored
Wow.
after I retired.
Wow. After you retire, you still have that vision to keep going on and providing that service. And I tell our entrepreneurs all the time that we all have a service in us. We just got to find what it is, what we do out there. Somebody just left a message about Janie's Hands has helped them tremendously, and that is an honor to your hard work. Janie's Hands has helped me tremendously. Marcus, we
Yeah.
thank you so much for it, and we so grateful for Miss Perry that she's out there doing this, because she can be relaxing, she can be sitting in her recliner, she can be kicking back and watching this happen, but she took action to make sure that our community and our veterans and our people out there have somewhere to live and everything. And somebody asked the question, what's your vision for building for the community you're building? What's your overall vision for that?
My overall vision is to stamp out veterans homelessness across the world, not just our community, but it starts in our community, but eventually the world, because across our nation, even areas where veterans retire in the world. I saw that in Germany too, believe it or not. When I was stationed in Germany, I saw some homeless veterans there too. That's what I mean by the world, because there's a lot of veterans that retire abroad. O'Connors, not just Conus, O'Connors, meaning everywhere in the world. The States is Conus. So basically, what I would love to see one day is not one veteran homeless.
Not
Not
one.
one.
You hear that? We're trying to not one veteran for it. And somebody asked, how can they help with your mission out here in the community? I mean, is it something that you challenge folks to do?
Take action. Take action. In the military, we say boots on ground. That means moving, taking action, not just sitting around talking about it, going against each other. I mean, I know I haven't been living here a long time. I've been living here going on 6 years after I retired, and going out in the community and helping out. I mean, I have a testimony of my own. I was homeless after Desert Storm. This is not just, I have the experience as well. So a lot of these guys I connect with, females, male veterans, my battle buddies, my friends, my comrades, I connect with them because I was there also once upon a time. And I know if I could do it, a veteran coming from Desert Storm drinking, yeah, I have a testimony too. But I know if God can bring me through it, he can bring them through it too.
That's right.
I know there's nothing impossible. I haven't drank in almost 20 years.
Wow.
Okay? I know it's possible. And I know there's nothing impossible for God. But you got to have the faith too. You got to have the drive. You got to also. Because God put us here. Okay? We're here for a reason. We're not just here to party and, hang out, do what we do, become millionaires or whatever you want to do. But we're here for a reason. Each and every being on this earth is here for a reason.
And folks, y'all see Miss Perry's number going across there. If you see some homeless veterans that need some encouragement, need some guidance, feel free to reach out. 302-342-7915, that where they can get some guidance and she can give them some type of inspiration of what they can do, And somebody asked a question too, Miss Perry, what does success look like for the residents that you assist?
Number one, there's no I in team. I'm not doing this alone. First, as I stated at the beginning, I give honor to God for allowing me to have the brains. I mean, I'm a veteran as well. I have some disabilities, but as I stated, I have people that have supported the idea that God put in my brain. And I'm going to name some people that have been there from day one. Councilman Lewis, his wife Elaine Lewis, Teresa Campbell Harris. Okay. I mean, those were people that was behind me from the beginning. They didn't think the idea was stupid. They didn't think the idea was dumb. They didn't think that it was useless, because we have veterans as well as civilians and encampments all across our state.
Hey, yeah,
But we have to start here. We have to start right here. So I guess I'm assuming that's what God said. I'm gonna use you to start here.
right
And
here.
there's a lot of other people, as I stated. There's no I in team.
Thing.
I have a lot of people that support me. I have a lot of people that jump in. There's a lot of people. We can do it. As
Yeah,
I said, we have done it. We are doing it.
yeah. And then step by step, one moment at a time. So somebody asked, do these residents that you probably assist with housing ever find permanent housing or
Roger that.
yeah.
Okay, that's the military in me. Absolutely. The
I
process, the
love
process, the
it.
process with Janie's Hands is there's a lots of facilities, Veterans Affairs, Bay Health, a lot of facilities come across homeless people, the shelters, and they are called Janie's Hands and other wounded warriors, or warriors helping warriors. What is it, Home of the Braves? They'll call us and they'll let us know that they have homeless veterans. So Janie's Hands process is I get called by one of the representatives to have a homeless veteran, and I do an intake with them. I see what their needs are, and I try to assist them with whatever resources I can on my level. And then I reach out to SSVF agencies. Right now is Veterans Multipurpose Center and Soldier On. So they assist our veterans from my level as an intake. Then they also have intakes as well. Once they obtain the veteran's name, so DD 214s and so on and so forth, they assist them in permanent housing, shared housing, shallow housing. So, and it has been very, very successful.
4 and 7, and that's a great tribute there that we have these resources available that's supporting. As you have somebody asked that, and we have a thing. Are your services only for those in Delaware, or do you have sister chapters in other states?
At the
For
moment,
Curtis.
well, that's my dream one day to have sister units across, as I said earlier, the world, but step at a time. Janie's Hands right now is stationed in Delaware, and we do have housing in Wilmington. We have housing or assistance in Dover, and hopefully in the future, Sussex County as well.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked if I have a house in my state, can I assist with housing homeless veterans?
Absolutely. Now, with that stance, Janie's Hand doesn't do that. But you will have to go through SSVF and the agencies of SSVF, which is supportive services for veterans and their families. And the agencies that supportive services for veterans and their families have, they can connect you and assist you in being a landlord and assisting our homeless veterans.
That's perfect. And folks, if y'all have those questions, reach out to Ms. Perry, 302-342-7915. She probably can provide you with that insight you need for whatever you are. So we can help as Ms. Perry said, her vision is not only community-wise, but is worldwide to make sure that we reach every veteran that's out there that's homeless, that probably needs a place to stay, and you have something sitting there for that. For all my investors out there, please reach out to get some type of understanding of how the program works if you're willing to assist and to provide these services for it. Somebody asked, what's the residents' biggest challenge in moving on?
Funding,
Funding.
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 But I know in due time, it's coming.
We get money.
State has assisted us with a small amount, and we're very grateful. But funding is a key thing because a lot of our homeless veterans come to us with nothing, pretty much with only the clothes on their back. A lot of them don't even have IDs, Social Security cards. and we'll assist them with our resources in obtaining these things. We
Mm-hmm.
assist them. I'm a VSO as well, Veteran Service Officer, and I assist in obtaining their benefits, health wise, as well as uh, ratings as well.
You heard that, folks? Health wise, their benefits, their VA benefits, any of that stuff. She's a veteran service officer that provides that service to you, and gives it. Folks, please reach out if you know any veterans struggling with those type of situations that they're not getting their benefits that they need. They served our country. They provided a service. It's time to find out if they're getting the service that they need at this time doing that. And funding, do we have a way the people can donate? Miss Perry, there I have a question.
Well, the way you can donate at the moment, we're stationed at the Center for Transitioning Veterans in Janie's Hands.
Mm-hmm.
Veterans, we're our main station at the moment right now is at People's Community Center at 46 South Bradford Street, Dover, Delaware. And you can also do it online as well.
Okay, so folks, you heard, and is that a website there, Miss Perry, that they can go to, or
Roger that. The website is, wait a minute, having a mental block here.
tell me, we got time.
It's VETS, VETTRANS Center. And a little brain fart there, but dot info.
.info.
Mm-hmm. And that's VETS Tran
VETS.
VETTRANS
Mm-hmm.
Center CENTER.info.
.info.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, you're going to see it coming across the screen here shortly. That you can look at that for any type of assistance that we need. We know that funding is one of the big things that our veterans need for it. As she said, it's clothes, and folks, we want to give away clothes that's worthy to be worn. Stuff
And
that you can put on, stuff that you might have outgrown for it or something like that. But please don't think that a rag you're going to use as a dust rag is suitable for what we're doing here and everything. We hand out worthy items to our veterans so they can look decent out here in the community. They're one of our brothers and sisters for that needs that help for it. And somebody asked a question: how do you choose, and what is the locations that are near jobs and schools and transport? How did you choose where you're going to provide these housing and services at? What came to mind?
well, basically, you mean the choices of the homes that we have for
Yes.
veterans? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, as I stated earlier, there are community efforts that support us. I mean, like the home we have in Wilmington, the Veterans Home in Wilmington is 5 bedrooms, and each veteran have their own room, and we assist them in transitioning to permanent housing. So that one came about through VMC, actually, Veterans Multipurpose Center. They didn't give it to me. They want a part of it. They just said, well, Miss Francis for Janie's Hands, would you like to assist, have veterans here? And I said, you know what, that will be a good idea. But then they step out of the way and I carry on. But I have to admit, Johnny, that we do have quite a few. I mean, I'm grateful for NAVETS, which is a service organization that has or is backing Janie's Hands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They noticed the work that we were doing over at People's Community Center and my housing veterans homes. And they
Mm-hmm.
said, Miss Francis, how about Commander Little? How about we back you? How about we support you? And they have. as well as People's Community Center. I have to give Dr. Hart some prop to.
And shout out to our commander, Ronnie Little, for Chapter 94. I mean, he's doing some great things out in this community to make sure that we reach the veterans. He's out there with
Yes, he is.
with 2,500 coats that we find in homes for. We're looking for the veterans. We're seeking, and as he spends tireless hours storing this merchandise and finding and reaching out in the community, we just gotta give him a hats and an attaboy that for the service that he's doing, that he's providing out here. And this is not the first time, but this is the second time. This is a passion for him, as well as Pat Perry and a lot of members of the NAVETS team, Veronica, Colonel Sutton. We can keep going down the line and naming that the folks that they're really putting a stamp on this and reaching out so we can provide these services, as Rodney's and is a VSO as well, as they providing claim services and all that stuff. And I told Rodney today that I said, Commander Little, we got to do another claims clinic. We got to make sure that we're reaching out and providing that. And I told him next year that's going to be one of our initiatives that we're going to do is a claims clinic that we're going to be able to go out there and find these veterans that are not getting their benefits and not getting their due funds that they need to live a basic life. Folks, this is not like they're living lifestyle of the rich and famous. This is a basic life for them to be able to afford the basic necessities that we have for, even cars and as Miss French said, living assistance placements for us, and we're so thankful for those that have been helping, but we can't stop.
Nope, this is just the beginning, because I said to Commander Little and Colonel Sutton, I said, I wish there was a lot more, retired veterans that would take on this effort, take on this initiative, because there's a lot more out there than we think. You would be astonished. You really would be. I said to Commander Little, I said, you are one of the best sergeant majors, retired sergeant majors that I've met. I wish I had deployed with you. I wish I had been one of your troops, because he really supports the troops. And I also, being that over at People's Community Center, our veterans office isn't accessible. We don't have the capability to get up and down stairs, because I serve a lot of veterans with all kinds of conditions, mentally and physically. So I have to implement this, how NAVSVET has taken us on, how they have supported me to assist veterans, to know that Janie's Hands has resources, to know that Janie's Hands assists veterans with, as a veteran service officer. And I do a lot of work from his office, even though it's a one room office, but Commander Little, he doesn't even hesitate to allow me to even use his office to assist our veterans.
Right. And that's awesome that we do out there. Shout out, and folks, we're looking for those veterans that probably needs coach right now. So if you know some veterans that need coach, you see Miss Francis' phone number go up, so you can contact me or Miss Francis or anybody at NAVET, so we can reach out to those veterans and provide those services for them. Somebody asked too, Miss Francis, as we don't have a lot of housing for our veterans, what's the length of stay that somebody can stay when they get into this transitional housing?
Well, I have to admit I'm a little softy when it comes to that, but Janie's Hands Veterans Transitional Housing Program is a 90-day program, but I'm going to put the plus behind it, because we don't know the situation that they come in. We have to obtain DD-214s and documentations to even confirm that they are veterans and they are eligible to obtain the book. But regardless, I have another partner that assists as well. Take a walk in my shoes too. Uh, and they help also with helping veterans and civilians that, need housing and don't have the opportunity to, because some of the veterans that come to us with their DD 214s, it may be a dishonorable discharge, but
Mm,
we it doesn't matter. It
mm,
doesn't matter. We get them housing. Somehow or the other, God does provide.
and that's good, and folks, you heard it. We don't have a lot of housing, but we can use more. So if you have some space there that you don't see occupied or something like that, give us a call. Reach out to Miss Perry and have that conversation so we can be able to incorporate some of those services that we offer to them, and we can put these veterans in a good warm place. As we know, it's cold out there right now, and it gets hot in the summer. So both seasons and the other fall and everything, everybody deserves to live decently.
And it
And
also it benefits you as well. I
yes,
mean, your heart, your soul, you know, having a person, and it also income. They don't just ask people to house veterans for free. The SSVF program do pay their landlords to house veterans as well.
mm. So folks, that's another situation. You're getting compensated for that space that you have idle. That you can use out here in the community for some of our veterans. So folks, I'm going to repeat this number a million times tonight: 302-342-7915. Reach out so we can touch bases with Miss Perry. You need my number is 302-312-9860. We're going to find a way to we can connect y'all with the right folks that has these resources for the folks that we need out here and there. Somebody said, how do we handle the conduct and behaviors for those veterans that need more than just housing, but they need some type of medical attention?
And just as I mentioned earlier in reference to healthcare, I'm just going to give you a small scenario of veterans that come to us. And, a lot of us do have PTSD and other things,
Mm-hmm.
addictions, and so on and so forth. So we do assist veterans in rehabilitation, Coatesville, and other, you know, uh, VA facilities, civil.
Civilians. Yeah.
Yes, but they also have places that veterans can rehab because there it's not just civilians out there that are addicted. PTSD has a lot to do with our veterans' addictions.
Mm.
Okay. And Coatesville, I'm just going to use Coatesville. Coatesville has a Coatesville VA has a wonderful program, excellent program. Just assisted one of our veterans to go up there. He's there now, a young Marine, and thank God he's doing great. Mr. Mincy, he went to Coatesville. Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Mincy battled some things himself, PTSD, and he's doing great in his new home and everything. So we do have resources. Just as I mentioned earlier, we do have resources to assist our veterans to rehab, to assist our veterans to become stable, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, so on and so on. We do have the resources.
Right, right. And we're going to provide that. And that leads us to somebody asked, do you have the help residents build independence and self-advocacy? Do we have those resources? Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
As I stated earlier, we do have the resources for the veterans.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just you just don't see it outright. Yes, you do have to have specific areas, like as I stated, Warriors Helping Warriors, Home of the Braves, Jamie's Hands, all of these facilities that assist our homeless veterans. We do have resources to assist them. I'm getting a little mouth dry, talking a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
we do have the resources to help our veterans when it comes to health care and rehabilitation and employment. And I can go on and on and on. We do have the resources, and that's how our veterans are becoming stable, permanent, and coming back to reality in this
Mhm.
society.
Mhm. And folks, if y'all scared to talk, we also have Miss Perry's email address, so you can send her a message and she can answer. But I don't want nobody to be embarrassed. I don't want nobody to be ashamed of any of that. But it's something that we're here to provide resources. It's a no judgment zone here. This is about
Absolutely.
helping folks and doing a work out here in the community, which a lot of folks. They can't see or understand it right now, but it's something that didn't happen. And do we want to be in this situation? Absolutely not. But what situation we would love to be in is to be able to have an avenue that our veterans have to recover and be back and be an asset in the community, be a vital part of the community
Yes.
in what we're doing out here. For y'all can't even imagine these veterans that went to some of these wars and some of the trauma
Mhm.
that they have seen and went through and trying to fight through. And you said, wow, what's going on there? It's a lot. It's a lot going on there. And
Mhm.
the most important thing that it's a lot that we're going to make sure goes on so they can get back to where they
I
live.
found too, Johnny. Actually, I found that a lot of our veterans that come through our programs and they become stable and permanent in housing, healthcare, VA ratings, VA benefits, they do give back. I'm not the only one. A lot of
Absolutely.
the veterans that they call me, Miss Francis, what you need? Can I volunteer?
Hmm.
Absolutely. They love giving back.
Hmm.
They come to the center, they come up to the house in Wilmington, and so on and so forth. They love giving back to their brothers and sisters in arms.
Hmm. And Ms. Perry, explain ratings for some of our audience that probably don't understand what a VA rating is.
Okay. Most of the time when we come back, you have physical and mental issues. So what I mean by that, being a VSO, a veteran service officer, you come to us and we sit down and we talk to you about, what's going on, what do you want to apply for. So we submit, it's called an intent to file or claims to Veterans Affairs, and the reviewer takes a look at what we've submitted and they apply a rating to the mental and physical illnesses, not necessarily illnesses, but you know what I mean. But
Hmm.
what they do is they review what we've submitted and then they give them a rating 10 through 100%.
Mm. And that's how they get compensated based on that rating.
Absolutely. Yes. And most of the time, this has changed a little bit because a lot of veterans don't know this. They think, oh, I have to have 120 days. I have to, but a lot of our homeless veterans have PTSD. So I have
Mm.
to give props to Veterans Affairs. They have allowed our veterans that don't have a perfect, I mean, other than dishonorable discharge, but we do assist them too. We don't turn them away. But with ratings, you can be under other than honorable, other than honorable, general, so on. So if the Veterans Affairs has changed that to allow homeless veterans with, if they have PTSD, to allow us to submit an intent to file and to obtain a rating so they can get help and assistance with their mental health, their PTSD, their anxiety, their depression, so on and so on. So I have to give Veterans a fair prop in reference to that because back in the day you couldn't. Believe me, I
Wow,
went through it too. You couldn't. Mm-mm,
you couldn't do it.
mm-mm.
Are there any specific requirements for residents if they, for people to live in these to use the homes as transitional? Do they have to be under doctor's care or anything like that?
Well, the requirements you're speaking of, it depends on the landlords.
Okay.
What they require. What, no, try again.
Yeah, yeah, there are requirements for
that medication that the
their
VA
medication.
gives.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes me dry sometimes. But it depends on the landlord themselves and what they offer and what they have in their homes. Because a lot of the housing they have shared housing, which
Mm-hmm.
allow three to so many five, sometimes six
Mm-hmm.
veterans in their home. And yes, they do have rules and regulations, just as well as Janie's Hands does in her housing. That is laid out. Various things with our house manager in Wilmington, Mr. Richard Jolly. He
Mm-hmm.
lays out the rules and regulations, and we have to abide by them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's good. Wherever we go, folks, we're gonna have rules and regulations. If we walk outside, we got rules and regulations for it, and that's good that we have that. But I think they were requiring to. Do you need like wheelchair accessibility when you offering these services to some of the veterans?
Yes, we do. I mean, you can donate those items over at People's Community Center, because People's Community Center doesn't just have veterans, they also have civilians as well. And as you all know, right now in Delaware, we do have cold purple season. So there's a lot of men over at PCC and women over at Maranatha.
Mhm.
So, yes,
Tell,
we can use those items as well.
tell us about cold purple season. You said that a couple of times, so our audience can probably understand what's
Okay.
going on there.
Cold purple season here in Delaware. Let's say during the cold season, it starts December 1st through April 1st. And we house homeless people that lives in encampments. They come in out of the areas where they've been living, and they come in during the cold months, and we house them.
Mm.
And now I
What's
don't know what other states call it, but in Delaware it's called cold purple.
cold purple season for it? So, folks, we getting them out of the element and bringing them into something nice and warm for
Now
it.
I have to add also, Johnny, with Janie's Hands and other facilities like Warriors Helping Warriors, Home of the Brave, we house our veterans 365, 24/7.
Wonderful. That's awesome for the stuff. Um, and somebody said, why would someone be in a transitional housing? Is it because they're just homeless that they need transitional housing, or would it be some other reasons?
Well, it varies because there are veterans that, just come out of the military. Because there was a young man, he was in the reserves, he had deployed, and he didn't have anywhere to go. So he called Janie's Hands, and we assisted him in finding permanent housing. Now, most of the veterans are homeless, but there's all different kinds of situations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why we need that? Why they need that housing?
Absolutely. You never know. I mean,
And then
Privacy Act and HIPAA law, I can't really go all into what
have
they come in and
yeah, and
what kind of
do
conditions they have, but we try to help them in whatever condition. There's no veteran left behind when it comes to Janie's Hands.
right. And folks, we got to understand that in this whole realm of doing this stuff, that we just finding a service and a situation to make it the best possible. We're not trying to be judgmental in what we're finding with the people. We just know that they need to have a warm living like anybody else.
Well, it's a thin line. Everybody could be that way. We don't know that. We don't know what condition can happen in the future.
Hmm.
So why not
Yeah,
offer
for
that?
them and
Mhm.
everything. And somebody said, so the primary purpose of transitional housing is to provide a transition from um, giving these people a better situation to live in and to live according to. Is that correct?
Stable and permanent housing
For
and
this.
other resources as well. And we don't leave them alone. We don't just put them in stable and permanent housing and go, okay, go your way. No, we're here for them.
Mhm. Somebody said, how great is the need for this transitional housing? How many houses do you think is adequate that we need right now today, if you had to just guess?
Well, in reference to that, I would think that you would have to call SSVF for that because, as I stated, from my um, level, which being a Veterans Affairs coordinator and assisting our veterans when they come in and ask for help. I mean, because as I stated, I don't just assist homeless veterans, I also assist veterans that need other resources as well. Because as you well know, here in King County, well, I think they said in Georgetown, but we don't have a vet center here. So Janie's Hands and our transitioning center, we assist them with various resources. So, and as to housing, I think I would prefer you talk to supportive services for veterans and their families and the agencies that work.
And folks, if you don't know that information, give Miss Perry a phone call. She'll give you that information that you need to contact them, so you'll know what you're saying when you get there. We don't want nobody to be calling, don't have the information to have a correct conversation with them, and folks kind of confused about what you're trying to do.
Yeah, because absolutely, because on the podcast, it's just a few things that we point out. But if
Yeah.
you call me directly, I will give you more in other facilities as well.
Absolutely.
We are
And the number is 302-342-7915. Please reach out, give her a call, so you can just touch bases, have a conversation. If it's just a conversation of seeing how you can help, donations, what are they looking for, in the holiday season for it, and, Christmas and, New Year's is coming around. We want to give people fresh starts, new incentives, new ideas, new motives to just be encouraged that it's going to change. It's not going to always be like this, as that song said, it's going to be so many things that can happen that can assist our veterans out here that's going through more than just homelessness, and when we start to see it and we listen to the stories, it is so touching. It's life changing to where you want to do some different things and you want to help, for it and stuff. And we just got to give our shout out to the folks that's out here.
I think, Johnny, that's basically human nature.
Mm-hmm.
We all need people to support us. We all need people that would talk with us, give us just a vote of confidence. And a lot of the veterans, as well as the civilians, could use that. No matter what facility you're in, everybody needs that attaboy every once in a while, that boost, that encouragement. So that helps as well. We do have a PTSD group over at the center that we have every other Tuesday. Our peer specialist, Richard Jolly, comes and assists our guys. And it's not just our PTSD group. PTSD group doesn't just have veterans. We have the civilians that are there as well that come in. We welcome them as well.
And that's awesome. And somebody said, if I want to use my house for a transitional house for veterans, do it have to be a rancher or anything of that model?
No, it's not specific. There's no specifics. You just have to qualify with the SSVF program or the agencies that house our veterans.
So, folks, if you have that home and it's sitting there and you're looking to do something good with it, and it's not free. We're not asking you to do that free. Reach out so Miss Perry can set you up and give you some advice of who you need to contact and how we can find those veterans. Because we're trying to save them one veteran at a time. One veteran at a time going to change the lives of many more, and what they have went into. Somebody said, is a transitional living like a halfway house? Are they similar?
Basically, I don't know what halfway house consists of, but transitioning houses, no, I don't think so. Because our veterans that come back from rehabilitation, they don't come back to Janie's Hands or our facilities. What they do is go into halfway houses but transitioning is basically, as I said, unsheltered, unhoused, homeless veterans that come to our programs, and we assist them, transition them into stable and permanent housing
Oh,
and other resources as well.
fine. And that's great. What are some common transitional housing mistakes people make when trying to do it on their own?
Putting too many people in the house.
Mhm.
I mean, piling up a whole lot of veterans in a house like the barracks, and then it just confrontations occur.
Mm,
That's why Janie's hands try to space them, allow them to have their own rooms and stuff like that in our housing, because they need their space as well. As I
mhm.
stated earlier, we all have some mental and physical ills going on. So you would like to go in and close your door, and
Have your own privacy.
Audra.
Yeah, for it and stuff. And do transitional housing help for veteran couples, or are they just for single people?
No, it's not just for single. Well, as I stated earlier about our agencies, they do assist veterans and their families.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's awesome for family. So, folks, you might have husband and wife out there like that,
Children. Hmm. Yeah.
children, single parents with children. It can be any type of situation for it. I don't want y'all to take the perspective that somebody just got off of active duty and they're just going into transitional housing and nothing like that. Transitional housing is more than just for homeless folks here,
Hmm.
folks. And we don't want that. I got a story, Miss Perry, that, when I got out the military, I'm like, oh, wow, I got an apartment, but, what do I do now? And like you was talking about the resume, and what do? We said, man, we need to find somebody to write our resume for us and stuff. And man, I had one, and I had a handwritten resume. And I like, man, I took it and I like, Dad, what's the matter with this? I'm like, isn't this good? My handwriting, my penmanship is pretty good. And somebody said, oh man, can you type it on a computer? And I'm probably telling my age by saying this, but in the military, we used to have them DOS computers.
Yeah, your age. But we do have resources for employment, and they do allow and assist the veterans with resumes and finding jobs and so on and so forth as well.
Yeah, for it and everything. So those type of services that we offer, and also um at the job centers and stuff, we have
Mhm.
veteran services that's just for veterans,
And we
to
have a
help.
couple of them that help us out as well.
Yes, and
Mhm.
Department of Labor and stuff
Yep.
for that. So we have those resources that we guide you to, so you're
Mhm.
able to get in there and get those resources that you need at the time
Yeah. With the help
of
you
you
need.
getting out for. And folks, I want to just think of you getting out, or your job said it's over after this long, and you're transitioning to a new job and you've been there for a while, and you're trying to get acclimated to that next step that you need to make. It's the same thing that we're going through here with our veterans. They're transitioning from a military life into a civilian life, where sometimes that can be a little complex,
Mhm.
because in the military we use a certain type of routine, and we
Mhm.
come out and that routine is not the same
No.
anymore. And guess what? It's upsetting. It's frustrating at times. It gets us a little angry, and people think that we want to be like that, but that's not the key reason. We're trying to transition to a better life, but sometimes that is harder for some than others, for it, and we have to understand that,
Mhm.
for it. And another question: what's the difference between group housing and transitional housing? if you had it, would that be almost in the same?
Could you give me an example of a group house? Because I'm not sure
So
about
a
that.
group house is like everybody have a room in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and they have common areas like the living room or the kitchen's are common areas. And
Yeah, but do they assist them with finding stable and permanent housing, or they just stay there
no,
in the group?
they just there, and it's almost like a border house, where you rent rooms,
Well,
and then you.
basically, and you all veterans would know what I'm talking about when I say a transitioning house is basically like the MEP station.
Yes.
Because when you get to the MEP station, you go through all of these resources, and then they send you on to your next level, to basic
Mm-hmm.
training, to your units. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what a transitioning house is. We post you for 90 plus days, and we assist you to go on to your basic training area, which is, getting into your apartment, setting
Mm-hmm.
everything up. And then we also, help you with try to find job. If you need a job, we assist you with obtaining your benefits, health care, your ratings. Um, but no, they don't stay there.
They don't
They
stay there.
transition out of the area.
And folks, and folks, y'all don't know what MEPS is. Is when you're joining the military, is you're transitioning to military life, for what you're gonna have. And you have different um, areas
Bases
that
that you go to. Hmm.
you go through, so you understand how it works. Your health care, your
Hmm.
disbursement with payroll, and stuff like that, to where you kind of like, okay, this is how this works, this is how that works, and
Hmm.
you have that to go along. It's the same thing when you're getting out of the military. For they used to have a program, Miss Perry, when you get out, before you get out, it's almost
TAP, TARP.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yes,
The
yeah,
Air Force call it TARP, I think.
TARP, yeah,
TARP. Army call it TAP. So
yeah,
yes, it's like a week class that they take us through little stations to just briefly let us know what you're getting ready to head into when you walk out the door.
mm-hmm,
Um, you know, so basically that's what a transitioning house is. It assists you in, guiding you into various resources. And
mm-hmm,
as I said earlier, the veterans programs, we do have resources for our veterans. I mean, I
mm-hmm.
know sometimes it's hard to obtain, but if you just do a little bit of research,
And somebody asked a question,
all
Miss
right,
Perry,
yeah.
how hard is it to get benefits once you get out the military?
Well, it's not hard at all. You just have to talk to a VSO or a representative that can assist you, and you can ask those questions. Like as I was stating earlier, I still live on base, and I have
Mm-hmm,
some of the actually my next door neighbors retiring in June, and I'm assisting him right now with his transition with his rating, getting the paperwork together, documentation, because a lot of things initially happen to us in the military.
mm. Yeah, and we trying to get through to it
Because
to.
when you go to the MEP station, do they say, okay, you have a broken leg, so we're going to put you in, but later, no, you don't come in with a broken leg. You don't come in, hopefully, with mental issues. I
Right,
think
right.
that the military sometimes estimates it, but as I said
That's right. Mm,
earlier, we do assist you with obtaining those specific initiatives and issues to help you process and develop.
yeah, Miss Perry, I want to thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you
the
for having
time
me.
this evening, and our audience, for them to ask the questions and find out how we can service our vets. We
Hmm.
thank you for having Janie's hands for our veterans that's able to make that transition. But folks, we just asking that you reach out with any questions, any donations, how you can service or help to Miss Perry, 302-342-7915. and just get the information needed. You know, some vets that's going through some trauma or something like that. Reach out to ask Ms. Perry, how can we get them to the next step? How can we do something to help? And we can figure it out. We love to help. As she said, that God provided her to provide this service. She's not alone on this journey. She's going to continue on this journey,
To the day I die.
and we're going to be very
And I'm
good.
grateful to serve all of our veterans, all of my brothers and sisters in arms. No veteran will be left behind.
And you heard it, folks. No veteran left behind. Folks, thank y'all so much for attending. Ms. Frances Perry, 302-342-7915. Reach out. If you see our veterans in need, please reach out so we can help. Another wonderful podcast this week. We are so thankful. Creative Financing with JB is thankful for everybody that attended. And we look forward to see you again next week. Y'all have a great evening. Good night.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.